4 games this weekend in the NFL playoffs, divisional round. Time now for our game of the week, Cold Hard Football Facts on Football Nation. I'm Butch Stearns, he's Kerry Byrne. Our game of the week of the Seattle Seahawks visit the Atlanta Falcons. I am intrigued by this game, Kerry, for a lot of reasons.
Yep.
You've got the Patriots and the Texans. You've got the Broncos and the Ravens. And you've got the Niners and the Packers. There's intrigue in all these games. But this is a team that's surging by the numbers. You've been preaching it for over a month now. They're the best team in football, Seattle. They've already won a road playoff game. They're going into Atlanta, the best team in football by record, but with the most to prove of all the teams left, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've been kind of drinking the Pete Carroll, Seattle Kool-Aid for quite some time now. And I think it was great to see Russell Wilson and those Seahawks kind of have their national coming out party where the whole nation saw, wow, this is a tough, hard-nosed, formidable team. And to be down 14-0 and to really, granted RG3 was injured, but to really shut down that Redskins team and take over and dominate the game, I thought was a very impressive performance on the road by the Seahawks.
You've been preaching for a while, and let's look at the numbers. That Seattle's the best team in football.
Yep. Well, let's look at it right now. Their strengths, okay? 6 quality wins, Butch. Best in football, including the win over the Redskins. Nobody else has more than 4, okay? So they've beat good teams. They've beat the Packers, granted under controversial circumstances. They beat the Patriots, a team everyone says is a contender. Number 1 in our quality stats, power rankings. The best team across the board in all our numbers. Number 1 in defensive efficiency, what we call bendability. And passer rating differential, again, the mother of all stats. Number 2 in the NFL right now, behind only the Packers, but nobody surging, nobody hotter than the way Seattle is played right now.
And if you're going to beat Seattle when you showed the weaknesses, you can run the football against them. And Washington was doing that.
Washington did that. Alfred Morris had a big day those first couple drives. They really had trouble stopping the run. Number 17 on our defensive hog index, one of their weak links. Number 24 in run defense, and also number 24 protecting the passer. Wilson has suffered some sacks, a lot of it from his trying to make plays, but those are the weaknesses. But really overshined by all the great strengths that team has.
Now let's look at the Falcons' numbers. They've got a bye. They ended up with the best record in football, the number 1 seed in the NFC. Yet has any number 1 seed had so much to prove, and the numbers back this up, don't they?
It's kind of remarkable that people still aren't buying Atlanta, and here's one reason why. Now let's look at this strengths. They are 3-0 versus quality opponents. The only team without a loss to a quality opponent all year. That's the best in football. But you know what? The fewest games against quality opponents. The Detroit Lions played 11 quality opponents this year. If Atlanta played 11, if they played 8 more quality teams, they would not be 13-3. They might not even be a playoff team. So that's a huge number to watch. That's why people doubt them. But they're also efficient defensively. They're number 2 and 3rd down offense, and they're number 4 with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones getting the ball downfield and passing yards per attempt. So they do a lot of things well, but they haven't played a lot of great teams. But then if you look at their weaknesses, and this could bode well for the Seahawks, they don't stop the run, and they don't run the ball well. We saw the way Marshawn Lynch ran the football against the Redskins. The Falcons are number 29 in run defense, and Butch, by the way, number 29 running the football. If you value the importance of running the ball and stopping the run in postseason football, and we don't necessarily, but if you do, that's a huge weak link for the Atlanta Falcons.
Let's look at Matt Ryan and look at the quarterback, and let's look at his numbers. To me, I would argue that he was the start of all these young quarterbacks coming in and having good success, high success in football over the last 5 or 6 years. He really hasn't had a sophomore slump or a bad season. He's been as consistent as he's been there, but he's got a lot to prove. He's 0-3 in the playoffs.
He's 0-3 in the playoffs, and the reason he's 0-3 is he's played better teams mostly, but hasn't really played well. We talk all the time about the importance of efficiency. 5.3 yards per attempt, 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, a 71 rating in the postseason. If Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, anyone does that, they're 0-3 as well. You do not win postseason games with those numbers. Matt Ryan must play better to win a playoff game. It's simple as that.
So when you look at his 3 losses, give me your opinion on this. You could make the argument either way. He still has a lot to prove, but he was beaten by 3 quarterbacks, Kurt Warner in 2008, Aaron Rodgers in 2010, and Eli Manning last year, that the quarterbacks and the teams that beat him all went to the Super Bowl, and 2 of them won it. Only Kurt Warner in Arizona didn't win it.
Counterpoint to that, which would be only 3 teams in history have reached the Super Bowl with a 9-7 record. 2 of them beat Matt Ryan. The 2008 Cardinals and the 2011 Giants.
So your argument would be against Ryan that they were ripe for the pick, and they were 9-7 teams and a good quarterback.
They were better. The Falcons were better than those teams, and they lost because he didn't play well, and that kind of propelled those teams into the Super Bowl. Those were not great teams he lost to. The Packers even were 10-6. They were a better team. They were better than their 10-6 record. But still something to prove. Butch, it's simple as that.
He's Kerry Byrne. I'm Butch Stearns. If you would like to chime in on our game of the week, go to coldhardfootballfacts.com. The Seahawks at the Falcons.